off camera, right, when we were prepping and all that stuff, you were talking about this. I brought up the bus metaphor. You got to get everybody on the bus, right? And you had a fun play with that. Bring that up again.
Yeah, I was thinking, we oftentimes will use that to talk about a team.
Yeah.
And, that's great. I think good to great is the one that really made that metaphor work, right? And there's a leader on that bus who envisions where we're going and everybody can contribute, but we got to have the right people on the bus. And I had a thought, what if we're all like in our own cars caravanning? We all have our car vehicles wrapped in the company logo and brand, but we actually have different areas of responsibility. We have different areas that we have ownership over in trying to move our caravan, our company caravan, to a destination. And I thought that's an interesting picture because it would emphasize the need for communication, right? Communication between the different parts. And we all have to actually be paying attention to each other and making sure one person doesn't exit right off the wrong ramp as we're trying to get, right? It takes some planning and coordination. And
not everybody's getting the same gas mileage. So you got to, just because my tank is full doesn't mean your tank is full.
That's right. And what if someone has more, right? They're actually getting a little further behind. Maybe, while other people are wanting to speed up and go full force ahead. And so it's an interesting metaphor to consider, and it actually shows how hard. Could you imagine? It makes it sound easy if we just get everybody on the same bus.
Totally.
And one person's driving us all there. But if we're all in different cars, then it poses
it inserts
challenge.
the notion of autonomy again, right? Because now you're actually driving your unit. It also, when you said that earlier, it also spawned, it connected to a thought where we use another metaphor of getting on the same page. We all need to be on the same page. And I've listened to people say that, and I'm like, I don't think anybody's ever on the same page. I think I've spent most of my marriage not quite on the same page with my wife. And so I was like, why do we say on the same page? It's very specific. And I'm like, what if we were in the same chapter of the book? And then maybe what if we were just in the same story? Because sometimes you walk in and you'll hear companies that's like, everyone's telling a slightly different story. We're not even in the same book. And you want us to get on the same page? And it's a similar idea of, in a caravan model, it allows us to like you could stretch it out. You can get, it has flexibility to where you are in the particular part of the journey versus being on the bus. Everyone's in the same bus on the same page, right? But there's a sense of control or a lack of autonomy it would take to actually accomplish that. And one of the key elements of intrinsic motivation is this notion of autonomy. And so when you brought that idea up of caravanning, and I started to think about the complexity involved, the logistical complexity of trying to get this massive group of people across this wilderness of the unknown, like that's a great metaphor. And wouldn't it be great if we could all get in the same bus? Wouldn't that just be great?
Yeah, it would be nice if we could all just put in the same GPS in all of our vehicles. We have the same GPS, and this is the routes, and this is where we're going. But some people have to get off, and they have bathroom breaks, or they're really hungry. Someone's like, I'm starving. I gotta grab. Have you ever been on a road trip with people in a car? Like, it's one of the worst things. I mean, that
the only thing worse
is
is Greyhound, right?
Honestly, before people start companies, they should have to go on a cross-country trip together. And just see how that works.
We should totally do that as an offsite.
And then we will envision all the things that could go wrong as we build a company.
Totally.
And have a plan for it.
We should build weekend corporate retreat where the whole retreat is just getting there.
Right.
It's going to take 3 days to get there, and here's the game, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was a brilliant metaphor.